Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we got a special guest, Enrique, here with nearly 10 years of experience in the plumbing field. Today, we're gonna be asking him, what's one thing you wish you knew when you first got started, now that you got all this experience? Let's jump right in. You've been doing plumbing for quite a while now. You know, it's been maybe not an easy road or the smoothest road, but you've made it nonetheless. How has that experience been for you? Maybe getting even started to start off with.
It's been quite an experience, honestly. As far as, you know, from a newcomer coming into the plumbing field, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. So, you know, just getting into something that I felt at that given time was career-based, somewhere where I know I can, you know, use a set of skills just to, you know, just pretty much get more knowledge.
What made you say, like, this is what I'm getting into? How did you know, like, plumbing, that's me?
So I have a background of family. You know, they work in a wide range of fields, from, you know, service and repair, from HVAC to plumbing to electricians. And then I have a few folks that, you know, are working for city jobs, you know, and, you know, getting exposed to that from an early age on. I just wanted to choose a platform that, you know, best suited me. And I felt like plumbing was the best decision that I could have made at that given time.
Now, would you say, for those watching, that based on what you just said, that knowing or having family or acquaintances, friends in that field is going to help you significantly? And if you're watching and you know somebody in the field that you want to step into, you got to reach out to them. You got to, like, get in touch to propel you into that career, because that's what you did, right? You used your family to kind of get you started.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, there was, I had a relative, one of my uncles, you know, that was the only plumber in the family. And like, as I mentioned, you know, I have a wide range of relatives that, you know, they do a wide range of just overall other services. And I figured, you know what, let me try out plumbing first. And then from there on out, after I tried it, I went out in the field with him, actually got that hands-on experience with him, did a ride-along per se. And since then I've been hooked, and I just, you know, pretty much been doing what I've been doing.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, you know. And some people watching may not have that relationship with somebody in the field. What advice would you give somebody if maybe they don't have a family or a friend that they can reach out to?
The advice that I would give them is, don't be scared to take that leap of faith. I know coming into a career like this, you know, a lot of people misconcept it as, you know, being a tough job. But if you love what you do, you love, you know, helping people out, but also just overall, you know, exploring your options, I think plumbing will be one of the best suits for them. The reason why I say that is because, you know, there's a lot of potential in plumbing. Me personally, it helped me change my mindset on overall how I see things, you know, to the general public, you know, as well as, you know, clients in general.
And I'm sure that's going to help somebody out a lot. Now, you've been doing this for a while now. You've seen a lot of changes in plumbing. How has plumbing changed in almost nearly 10 years of your experience?
That's a good question. One of the things that I've noticed is overall experience that these plumbing companies are bringing out to the field. Generally, you would just call a plumber, and then they'll come out and just, you know, give you options, but never really give you a full experience to where, you know, you actually connect with that individual. Honestly, I think for our company, that is one of the biggest that set us aside from other plumbing companies, is we do also offer just a wide range of services, but also that commitment to, you know, connecting with the customer, not just going there to fix their issue, but also growing a personal relations with them, that they'll be able to call us back knowing like, hey, I have the right company, the right plumber, and it was also the right time for me to call them, as far as, you know, me coming out there.
That's great. And because we're now living in a very different time compared to 10 years ago, would you say it's gotten easier to get into the field compared to before, or has it been is it more difficult now?
I would say it's much more of an easier process. The reason why I say that is a lot of plumbing companies, they're taking a lot of new hands into the field. The reason why I say that is, you know, 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago when I was starting up, you know, it was a much more difficult process in my opinion. The only reason why is because you needed a lot more experience, you know, a lot more key items just to get into that company. Now, you know, they're trying to actually teach a lot of these individuals, you know, hey, it's okay if you have no experience. We have positions available for you to learn. And there's a lot of good potential outcomes that a lot of companies are taking so forth on doing that, because there's a lot of potential out there. Even if you don't have the experience, if you choose the right company, such as this company in general, they'll set you up with the right tools, the right individual to train you, but also overall just, change the way that you feel about, plumbing in general.
That's great. That's great. And just for context, we're here at Monkey Wrench Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric, based in Los Angeles. We service the greater Los Angeles area, and you can find more information on Monkey Wrench in the description below. Now, moving on, I do want to ask, what's one thing you really wish you knew back then when you were just getting started, but you know now?
I think one of the biggest things is keeping your van clean. So just the way that you see this van is just organized and clean. It's crucial for, especially when you go to an emergency job, you already know where everything is, your tools, the shelving, everything in general, as far as, water meter keys right up there. Sometimes you have to shut off the main city shut off, and that's crucial, especially during emergency jobs.
Here's another question we get asked pretty often is, if I'm debating between pursuing a more commercial or residential approach for plumbing, what would you say is a good way to kind of weigh out those options?
Well, both commercial and residential, those are two different types of fields. Commercial, I believe, is strict to no basis, meaning, as I mentioned, you're now overall dealing with the actual owners. You're just dealing with management, but you're also dealing with service and repair in the building itself. As for residential, you are dealing with mainly homeowners. So, as for homeowners, sometimes that could be more of a actual position where you have to be more formal, more presenting, because when you're dealing with the homeowner, you want to make sure that you leave a good first impression.
Right. So that's something to keep in mind. What interests do you have? What personality type do you really kind of connect with? And that might help you point in the right direction. Now, who would you say is a right fit for plumbing, character, personality wise, and who's not a good fit?
That's another good question. I think if you're outgoing, somebody who's a people's person, somebody who loves to, just converse in general, plumbing will be the field for you. As I mentioned, you're going to be dealing with a lot of different clienteles on a day-to-day basis. And if you know how to stir up a conversation, plumbing will be the best, pretty much, position for you, per se.
And who is it not a good fit for?
I would say somebody who's more on the quiet side, but you'll be surprised. I've met quite a bit of quiet individuals where they still stir up some conversation, just spontaneously. It's just a hidden talent per se. As I always say, never judge a book by its cover. I think it's somebody who's not looking for commitment, somebody who's not looking to be presentable, somebody who's not, committed to being coachable, or overall just somebody who just doesn't like feedback. Because when it comes to this field, the only way to self-improve but also improve in the field and is feedback. Just getting that need to know basis from individuals, like, hey, what am I doing wrong? If you're not coachable overall, I don't think this will be the field for you, because they're very strict on that for self-improvement. If you can't self-improve yourself, I don't think a position like this will be for you. That's just my opinion.
Mans is dropping nuggets. Literally, you're dropping nuggets. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's great. And obviously the elephant in the room, it's a very hands-on career. You're gonna get dirty. You see Enrique here, he looks all spiffy and stuff. I'm pretty sure you're not going home that way tonight, right?
No, so this is before I actually go to my first service call. But keep in mind, after the day is over, you will be dirty. You will be smelly on some occasions, depending on what type of work you're doing that day. But it's one of the key things that I'll give to any individual coming into the field that's new. Always keep a fresh set of pair of uniform inside of the van, because you never know what's going to happen on the first call or throughout that day. You always want to make sure that you look presentable, but also detailed when you go show up to the clientele's home.
Okay, that's great insights, and obviously the cleaner you can be, why not? And one thing that I've personally noticed, especially here on Monkey Wrench, knowing several plumbing technicians, is that even once you get started, there's so many avenues. You can do drains. You can focus on water heaters. There's so much that you can do. What's one recommendation or tip you might be able to give people on how to find that for themselves? Is it just get your reps in, get more experience, or is it maybe get somewhat of a conversation going with a more experienced tech?
My honest opinion would be, or opinion based, to figure out what actual department is best for you. Give each department a try. don't be scared to take a leap. If you feel like drainage, you know, you're gonna get dirty. That's how plumbing is overall. I would say just experience every field, from the tankless to the water treatment, HVAC, or just plumbing in general. Try every department, because you never know what type of hidden talent you have until you try it. That's just what I did in general. I tried every department until I found my strong suit, and then the management noticed that, and you know, they strong focused me in that department as well.
And what is your focus?
My focus would be the tankless, but also water treatment, everything that has to do with plumbing in general. So if I get called out for general plumbing or just tankless or water treatment per se, I'll have every knowledge that I need based upon my background, but also the training that I've had with other senior techs to make sure that I provide the best experience for that client.
And that's something very important you just mentioned there, is that you are multifaceted. You can do pretty much all types of plumbing. So maybe it's not a good idea to just stick to one specific style of plumbing. The more you can do, the more flexibility you have in your day-to-day, right? You won't be caught doing the same thing over and over again.
That's right. And, you know, nobody wants to be put in a corner where like, hey, I only have this type of experience, but there's other potential out there, but I don't have that experience. That's where I mentioned as well, as, you know, don't be scared to get out of your comfort zone. By you getting out of your comfort zone, I believe you have more potential for growth, but also overall just expanding your knowledge in the field as well.
The person watching this may be somebody that's even considering even starting from scratch. What's one last piece of advice we can give them?
I would say just do it. By you just thinking about it, it's never going to become reality. By you taking that, as I mentioned, getting out of your comfort zone to just try it out, you just never know. I made a good decision by trying it out, by getting out of my comfort zone, not knowing what the outcome in the future was going to be. And I'm glad that I made that decision, because you know, it's not just doing plumbing, it's just overall just relaying that knowledge over to other individuals as well.
Well, you heard it here first from Enrique. And if there's anything that maybe we didn't really hit on, or maybe you want more info on, make sure to put a comment down below with a question, and we'll make sure to get that answered for you in the next video. And if you enjoyed any of the information in this video and found it helpful, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're dropping new videos every week.